Welcome to Beerstories from Beerstory Brewhouse. In this video I'm going to take a look at these two beers from Dry and Bitter. It's the Versus series they make, where they make the same beer with two different yeasts. So I'm going to have a taste at them and then see what the difference is. If you like the video, please click like and subscribe down in the corner. You make me very happy and you get the newest videos directly in the YouTube feed. Well, back to the beers. One of the reasons why I love Dry and Bitter Brewing Company is that they make this Versus series. They make other experimental beers as well, where they change the hops and so on. But in the Versus series, they have the exact same recipe, the same hops and everything. And then they use a different yeast. So this is really a great way to learn more about beer and what the yeast character does to the beer. And I'm going to try to explain a little bit about these two beers. I've got the recipe, and because Dry and Bitter, they don't measure the IBUs in their beer. They go out on the taste and not so much how many IBUs it is. So they actually don't know the bitterness in this beer. I took the recipe and put it in Brewfather and tried to measure the IBUs, and it's about 70. Yeah, and that's the same for the two beers. So East of the Sun is made with WLP066, the London fog yeast. And the West of the Moon is made with BRY97, the American West Coast ale yeast. So the objective difference between these two, as you can see, the one with the London fog is a bit hazy. Many breweries also use London fog for NEPAs and hazy IPAs, so that makes sense. But also the ABV is only 5.9, whereas the West of the Moon here has an ABV of 6.5. So this is a drier beer, objectively. This is a bit sweeter beer, more alcohol, less alcohol, hazy, bright and clear. So that's just the objective finish. If you go in for the aromas, and I get citrus, I get some tropical fruits, maybe some mango. Yeah, it's the same aroma. Maybe because I know there's a difference, I think I can pick up some grapefruit in this, but if I had them blind, I would probably not be able to get any difference in the aroma. But it's a fresh aroma, fruity, a little mango, little grape, little citrus. Great aroma, yeah. The first thing I get is grapefruit, maybe some pine, clear bitterness, and then a sweetness that I would perceive as mango. There's not a whole lot of malt character, but I think they use a bit. They use oats in these, so it has a great mouthfeel. But there's also Munich malt, and by knowing that, I think, well, it gives the orange color, of course, but I think I can also taste some bready notes in the finish. Yeah, that's funny because this one, the first thing you get is grapefruit and bitterness. This one, the first thing you get is some sweetness. That mango, the mango was suddenly very subtle over here, is very clear in this one. And the bitterness is lower. And that really strikes me as kind of odd, because I know in fact that there's the same IBUs in both. They put hops in at 60 minutes, they put hops in at 15 minutes, they whirlpool, and then they dry hop twice. And they use the same. They used Equinot, Mosaic, and Citra. But still, and I guess it's the sweetness that covers up the bitterness. But then in the end, the bitterness lingers on in East of the Sun here. Yeah, it starts off more tropical, more mango, more sweetness. And then you're left with a kind of grapefruity bitterness that lingers on. Whereas this, it just fires up for the bitterness right away. This piney grapefruity bitterness. And then the sweetness comes a little bit after, where you get that feeling of a mango or something like that. Both beers are great. I love West Coast IPA, and this one is just a great example of the style. I wouldn't call this a West Coast. I would call it somewhere in between a normal IPA and a West Coast. It still has more bitterness than traditional IPA, I think. But that sweetness confuses me. But it's still a great beer. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love them both, and I can really recommend. Keep a lookout for this Versus series from Dry and Bitter. I think I'm so happy each time they make a new Versus series, because I think it's a great way to learn about the tastes in beer and what the yeast does. They also had a single hop series where they made double dry hopped IPAs, and then they changed only the hops. That was also fantastic. Yeah, but it's just, I love it when breweries does these kind of experiments, because yeah, then I don't have to. Because of course you can do this at home, but this is just made to perfection. So yeah. Well, if you like the video, please click like and subscribe. You get the news videos in the YouTube feed, and you'll make me very happy. If you have any questions at all, write to me in the comments or write to me elsewhere. Other than that, well, then just have a happy brewing out there.